first, we got to get into the NBA Finals. And the Golden State Warriors are down 2-1 with the game tonight back in Boston at 9 o'clock. The Warriors look to even the series, and Boston Celtics look to take a 3-1 advantage. Ryan, what have you seen so far in these first three games that have led Boston to be so dominant against this Warriors team?
Well, first off, there's a lot on the line in this series for both teams. The Celtics are looking to capture their 18th championship, which will put them ahead of the Lakers by one. And for the Warriors, Curry is literally trying to show people that the narrative is wrong. He can be the show up, show out type of guy and actually lead his team, probably get an NBA Finals MVP, which he does not have yet. It was always somebody else. First time it was AD got it.
Mm-hmm.
Other two times KD got it. So it's like, does Curry really show up in the finals? So we get to see a lot in this series, but so far it's been very well contested. Game one, the Warriors played 3 quarters of basketball.
Yeah.
The Celtics played 4. Got outscored by a landslide. That game really showed me that the Celtics aren't here to play around. They want to win. They know what's at stake. Jason Tatum wants his superstar status to rise. Jaylen Brown wants his superstar status to rise. Marcus Smart wants his respect. I want my no.
No. I don't want you claiming to be a Celtics fan now, even though
I'm not a fan.
I know most people are rooting for the Celtics right now. Like Draymond Green is Draymond Green. He's a little unlikable. The Warriors, they've had their winning. This will be the first chance for this young Celtics group. You know, They were talking about can Tatum and Brown work together, and so far they have. To be fair to them,
for a long time, they might as well just stay together their whole careers, honestly. But we know there's always that little pair. They have to break up.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing that has been helping the Celtics is their size mismatch.
Mm-hmm.
They're big. You got Kevin Looney, who's the biggest guy on the court for the Warriors, not even cracking 7 foot, 6'10". You got Draymond Green, who is sometimes the impact to center, also ball handler, so he's the point forward for the Warriors. Mm-hmm. And Curry's gotten better on defense.
A lot better.
It got a lot better on defense. Like I've seen a lot of clips of him locking some people off the Celtics, and he's done a lot better on that. Jordan Poole is a cone. Klay Thompson is good on defense. He's definitely not as good as he once was, but also he's coming off of Achilles injury, and ACL injury.
That's why I'm giving it to the injury. It's not that he's gotten worse; it's an injury.
Yeah, Wiggins is a really good defender, but the Celtics' ability to be hitting shots. Like last game, we had all the 3 of Smart, Tatum, Brown all getting above 20, and like you said, with Curry is taking over.
He is.
And part of that is, I think, like you alluded to kind of prove people wrong. He has been doubted at times for his ability to step up in the NBA Finals, but a lot of it also is he's not getting the help around him that he once was getting. Klay Thompson has been pretty consistent, had a good game 3. It didn't lead to them winning, but he played better in that game than he did the first 2 games.
I like that, yeah.
Wiggins going to get you between 15 and 18 a night. Usually Jordan Poole is a man of 2 games. Like you'll get half court shot Jordan Poole and try and impress the chicks courtside Jordan Poole, and then you'll get like 5 or 6 points Jordan Poole. Who would have thought that the Warriors are really missing James Wiseman right now?
They are. They're getting out rebounded. They're getting outplayed in the paint. What is it? What did they get out rebounded by in that last game? What was it?
The Celtics nearly had as many offensive rebounds as the Warriors did total rebounds. The Warriors total rebounds in game 4 was 31 compared to the Celtics 47, which is absolutely absurd. That's been what's been winning the NBA Finals, or not NBA Finals, been winning these playoff matches is the size mismatches and the defense of mismatches. That's what's got the Heat and the Celtics was Eastern Conference Finals. On the Western Conference side, it hasn't necessarily been the same. Luka kind of took over for Dallas, but the Warriors have been more known as a defensive team recently and more defensive than some of the other teams in the West. And now they're coming up against even better defense with the Celtics. That has really been a struggle for them.
I'm glad you said that, though, because the Celtics are winning because of something I thought would be the case in the Memphis series, winning on the boards, winning in the paint. The second chance points are 22 for the Celtics, 11 Warriors. Paint points, 52 to 26. Things like that are the things that are going to get you to win against the Warriors, as we talked about several times. The Celtics are doing it, which is why they're up and they're going to win the series. I'm sorry, it's. I have to break it to you now, so you're not so disappointed in a few days. You know, when
so last round when the Heat were still alive, very early on in this series, you could tell the Celtics were better. The Heat would have better third quarters than the Celtics, but even game one, when the Celtics were coming off of game seven, the Heat were coming off of multiple days rest. The Celtics played better in the first half, and the Heat played better in the second half. And then the rest of that series, I said last week that the Heat are a good team, but the Celtics played better, and Maynard pushed back on that for me last week. But I still stand by that the Celtics were a better team.
Mm-hmm.
The Celtics were able to hit shots that the Heat weren't. They matched us equally on defense. Coaching, there wasn't a mismatch like we've seen a lot with the Heat. Erik Spoelstra has been a great coach. But with the Heat, I held on to hope all the way to game at the end of game 5. Game 5 is when I gave up hope on the Heat. I gave up, yes. Game 6, I was like, I accepted defeat. I thought we were done, but whatever happens, happens. We won. Game 7, I'm like, look, I already accepted defeat. If we win, we win. If we lose, we lose. I was trying to tell my boy Donovan that he was not feeling it. I sat game 7. I sat practically still throughout the entirety of the game. Just watching. I mean, I got hype a few moments, but I try to keep neutral because I was like, look, Jacob, you already accepted defeat because this team is better. Now, in the NBA Finals, I haven't accepted that yet. I haven't accepted that the Celtics probably are better. And something Nick Wright pointed out was if you look at if you put together the top 10 players of both teams, Steph's number 1. I think that's undeniable. Steph's 1. You got Tatum, you got Brown, you got Horford, and then we can debate between Marcus Smart and Klay Thompson. But over the course of the playoffs, it's been Marcus Smart.
Of course. So
that's 1 out of the top 5 going to the Warriors, and then you hit Klay.
I can't wait for game 6 all the time to get a good performance from somebody. I feel like that's what people expect from Klay. Oh, game 6, we might not get there. That's the problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It is a real possibility.
There is no game 6 Klay. We don't get there.
I'm still holding on to, I think it's going to be Warriors in 7.
6.
You said Warriors in 6? Wow, perfect. I'll take it.
He knows I'm in Boston. I don't know.
Hey, no. That's the sound bite we're rolling with. I'll edit out you saying Celtics so we can get an agreement there. You don't have it, the footage, sir. Okay, fair enough. The Warriors, the one thing the Warriors can rely on that they will consistently have is the experience.
For sure.
They've got a whole lot of experience in a whole lot of different areas. They've come back. We saw them in the series against the Thunder, Western Conference Finals 2016. They came back from a 3-1 deficit. Of course, they then blew that 3-1 deficit against the Cavaliers the next round. So they have the experience of being dominant. They have the experience of coming back. They've been in this game for what now? 10 years, really? Like 2012. 2012 was the first time we got a little sniff of what the Warriors could be while the Heat were doing their thing.
Right.
And then they slowly started to build up, and then the Heatles break up.
2016, 17, 18 is dynasty time. They're doing it.
And they still have. Mm-hmm. They still have the core of that team.
Just older.
Older, yes, but it hasn't, like, Klay obviously had the injuries, but they still have Steph playing, they have Klay playing, they got Draymond podcasting, they got
he's podcasting, all right.
I mean, I'm obviously, so being a Warriors fan, it is of course a little biased, but I don't mind seeing him podcast. I think that's really cool that you can get the insight. I mean, it's Draymond Green, so if Steph was doing it, I don't think he will be as much pitchforks in hand, like ready to clown him all.
If you're giving us 2 points.
Yeah.
Podcasting, I think that's the wrong P.
Yeah. I mean, he's very entertaining. Draymond is. Like he's been on the TNT crew with them before. He goes toe to toe with Shaq, with Chuck. He knows basketball, and he can talk, and he can stand his ground. And he's very entertaining. Yeah. Unfortunately, that doesn't equate to good finals appearances.
I think he should have definitely took a little vacation from the podcast for a little while to focus up.
I mean, we were talking about before the episode. If he scores 0 points, I really don't care. I really don't care. He's what
Yeah,
this?
that's not what he does.
He's the 6th or 7th best scorer on the team. Like you're looking to Gary Payton the second to get buckets before you're looking to.
He's not doing that either, by the way.
He's not, but like that's the point of how low down the tone pole that Draymond Green is at in terms of scoring this offense. If he can lock somebody up on the other end, which I don't know if lockup's the right word. I think kicking in the head is the better word.
He's not locking up anything right now.
Yeah.
In fact, the Celtics are. This is the stat actually. Get ready. So, Draymond would be one of the best, if not the best, defender on the Warriors. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Do you think that's the case in this series?
No, I mean, this is weird, but I'd argue Steph Curry's been the best defender for the Warriors in this series.
Indeed. So that takes me back. The Celtics are actually 49% from the field. Anybody when being guarded by Draymond. He's free buckets right now. So
that's pretty bad.
I need that to continue. So my prediction can stay in place, Celtics in 6. And yours can go wrong. That's all I want.
Tatum is such a difficult player to guard, and that's who he's supposed to be on. So he's not getting sauced up by Marcus Smart.
Jaylen Brown is getting on it too.
Jaylen Brown is too, but Clay's been more on Brown, and Dre's been more on Tatum. Tatum can beat you with a lot.
Yeah.
And we sometimes see him not choose to do so, which is just so incredibly weird to me that you have all these skill sets. You're 6'9". You're quick, you're athletic, you're twitchy. Like you got all these things. You can shoot, good handles. And we saw in game 1, he only had 11 points. They obviously still ended up winning. But sometimes we don't see Tatum really take advantage of his ability. Because like we saw last game, he took it to the rim a lot. Something that the commentating crew was saying a lot, that he wasn't looking for the contact. He wasn't looking to get fouled. He wasn't thinking about that. He was just taking it. If Tatum plays like that, consistent, that aggressive, which we haven't seen him be doing that consistently, but if he does that, yeah, it's probably going to be Celtics in 6.
Everything they've been telling them these past couple days, keep doing that. Attack. And this series is yours.
But do you think they haven't been telling him that these past 5 years?
I feel like they knew that he could. They said, we know you have the ability to do these things. That's why he's been putting in the work, getting better every single year. To be honest, the Jason Tatum we're seeing right now is not the same one we've been seeing. He's been progressing every single year. It's not the same moves. It's not from the same spots. He's expanding his game a lot.
It is. I mean,
areas.
He can hit pretty much any shot he wanted to. He's becoming a little, I mean, not exactly the same, but he's becoming like a little shorter Kevin Durant. Yeah. That is his best comparison, because Kevin Durant, to me, best scorer NBA history.
Because they got that thing where they can get that shot off really high up, and they can shoot over basically.
I mean, KD is 7'7". Tatum is
6'11".
He's 6'11". With shoes.
Okay, with shoes.
The fact that he was originally listed at 6'9", and then when he first came into the league,
he grew.
No,
he didn't grow?
No, it was a lie, because he was afraid.
He was 7 foot. That's the lie.
I think he might be 7 foot. It's like one of those things, like,
6'10",
what you say on Tinder is a little. I don't gotta do that.
On a good day,
y'all know I ain't got it. I'm 6'6", and I'm like, hey, that's the number one thing I put right there. Y'all ain't gotta worry about.
On a good day, he's 7 foot.
On a good day, he's 7 foot, and that 7 feet is enough to get his shots over
anybody.
Literally every defender. Nobody is Chet Holmgren going to come into the league and guard Kevin Durant? Because if he's a good defender, he's the first guy, because he's the same height as him. He's got a similar body. If he can be a good defender, which I don't think he is, that's the only person that's going to be. Oh yeah, I love the memes. It's like whatever you're giving Zion, whatever Zion orders, give to him to eat. Yeah, but Tatum, he reminds you of that, because he can drive left, he can drive right, he can pull left, he can pull right, he can pull off the dribble, he can spot up. Like, he can create every shot in his bag. He got everything in his bag, really, on the offensive end.
Yeah.
But he doesn't showcase it. Like, if you gave his talents to Jaylen Brown, I think Jaylen Brown is most certainly a very talented player.
Yeah,
but he's way more aggressive.
For sure, yeah, he'll drive to the paint.
And that aggressiveness is what's brought him to be a star. If you put those two together, oh my gosh, that's a fantastic player.
That's the thing. That's why I feel like they can't separate. They need to stay together for that exact reason. They stated that they were gonna get the title together. They're gonna do it they're doing it this year. I'm sorry. I was gonna say if not this year, but I'd be going against my own prediction. So they're gonna get one this year, and it could be more. It could be more.
The only thing that holds the Boston Celtics offense back is their lack of a point guard. They have everybody on the team can facilitate. Like, I'm not saying because like Tatum, I believe, has 7 or 8 assists last game, and all of the play, like Marcus Smart, 9, even better. Like Marcus Smart can be seen as a point guard, but he's a 2. He's a 2-way guard. He's become an incredible shooter. Like, do you remember when he was at Oklahoma State?
I didn't see any of that.
Couldn't shoot a lick. Came into the league like a D- 3-point.
Yeah, he's shooting now.
He's a nice shooter now.
Very well.
But he's not a point guard.
No.
He is a shooting guard. He's a shorter shooting guard who plays great defense and can shoot and create his own shot. They don't have a point guard though. That's undeniable. They don't have a facilitator, a distinct facilitator like the Warriors do.
That's not always a problem when you have the extra talent around them.
It's not. I'm not saying it's always a problem, but it's something that can be a problem.
Not for this team. No, not for this one.
So far, no. But it is something that they've never really had like Kemba Walker came in and didn't really light it up like they wanted him to.
That pure point the Celtics had was wrong.
Yeah.
You can't change
I'm not even asking for a pure point because Steph's a point guard. Obviously, he's more of a score first point guard. But the passing patterns that the Warriors have is a point guard unto themselves. Like their passing patterns that they played together for so long, that core, that the point guard is the team. Like they all play point guard in a way.
Right.
This Celtics team, first year head coach, the core is mostly played together. Al Horford is his second stint with the team. Marcus Smart, Brown, Tatum all came to the league at a very similar time. So they played together for a while, but they don't really have a facilitator that, like we see in the third quarters. They struggle to come out in the third quarters and come out at halftime. Yeah. They have been. And that is something that I could be chalked up to the lack of a point guard.
But they're fourth. Fourth quarter is more about leadership, though, I feel. Al's that good, solid leader for them. Let everybody know to stay calm. We know who the Warriors are. This is what we have to do. Boom, boom, boom. Even Marcus Smart, he's like, we're not playing the Heat. This is not the Heat. We can't play the way we've been playing. I like Peyton Pritchard, though, since we're talking about point guards. He's not going to be the starter, of course, but he could be one somewhere else, if that's the case. Or
he's
in the future.
He's a good piece off the bench. He's a good piece off the bench. I love me some University of Oregon. I love, like, he was part of, him and Dylan Brooks were a big part of University of Oregon's Final Four run.
Don't say his
Hey,
name.
I know you like that. I
don't like Dylan Brooks.
You don't like Dylan Brooks anymore? Come on.
He makes me so mad, man. He makes me so mad.
But you're expecting, because you see him ball out, you see him get 30 points, and you expect that of him regularly. That's not Dylan Brooks.
No.
That's not Dylan Brooks.
Not at all.
He wasn't that at Oregon. Now he was player of the tournament with Oregon when they made the Final Four run.
Yeah.
He'll be streaky. He's not a night in, night out.
Still to this day, his air balls kill me because we'll be good transitions, a couple stops on D, we'll come down court, give Dylan Brooks and your air ball. Yeah, I don't even want to watch after that.
Yeah,
I gotta change the channel.
But the 2-guard play of Peyton Pritchard and your boy that got him to the Final Four. So Peyton Pritchard, he can hit shots. He can hit shot. He's not okay. He's not now. You're getting at most.
No. You know what I mean?
You're getting at most 13 points for Peyton Pritchard.
Oh, yeah, no, I didn't say he's gonna give me 30. It's just when he comes off that bench and he gets in the game, he gets into the game. He doesn't care what the score is. He's gonna get his shot off the way he wants to shoot it and take the repercussions if he misses.
Yeah, but who is he guarding?
No, nobody really. He's not gonna play that much of.
He is the smallest dude. Small. He's
small foot.
He's the smallest dude on every NBA court he steps on.
Okay. I can
like there's not we've kind of seen the 6-foot point guard die off. Like remember at one point we had Isaiah Thomas, we had Kemba Walker, Chris Paul's like at 6. No, hey, I was going through a list, my friend. There was a few people in there, but Nate Robinson. Chris Paul is kind of coming towards the end of his career. He's kind of separated himself from that group because he is an all-time great. But like even there was multiple dudes that were below 6 foot that were balling in like the early 2010s, late 2000s, and you don't see that a lot. So Peyton Pritchard is one of those few guys that is really undersized, but it's because you can expose him so easily on defense.
It's a dying breed.
It is.
They can be special though, as you can see. Those players can be special on the court.
Yeah. So let's bring it back. Let's bring it back to the series. Who's biggest for the Warriors tonight? You're playing in Boston. You're in a hostile crowd. That's something that Boston is known for across all their sports. That they got the hostile crowd. I mean, I'm not going to say what they were saying to Draymond here on the show.
No,
we're not going to say that family friendly here if any sponsors are out there. But I'm doing this for free, guys. Who is biggest for this Warriors team coming into game 4, hostile opposing crowd? They've been really struggling as of late and easily could be down in the series 3-1 if things go wrong. Who's most important for them tonight?
Okay, for one, I'm gonna start off with this. I think the Warriors do win tonight. I'll give you that one. They're gonna win. But Draymond is gonna have to be the one that steps up.
Okay.
I say that because he's played terrible in 2 of the 3 games. He's played terrible. I'm gonna be honest with you. If Dre can light that fire up underneath himself, because as he's been saying, he's been playing like trash, garbage, soft, and he's been getting bullied. He's been getting pushed around the paint by Robert Williams in particular. Robert Williams has been punishing him.
I love Robert Williams.
Yeah. Snatching rebounds out of his hands. But it's him. It's Draymond. If he can light this fire that everybody knows he has, he can get back aggressive, setting his screens, orchestrating, dishing his dimes, getting the bucket every now and again. It's going to be a different game. But if he's playing how he's been playing, blowing layups, getting thrown out the paint by Robert Williams, he getting thrown out the paint by Grant Williams. You know what I mean?
No, I got stop it.
No, I watched that game. He was getting thrown out the paint by Grant Williams. But if he can have the game and be Draymond that you know from all the finals that you all have been to, then the Warriors are gonna win. But I predict it happening though. So
for me, I mean, you're obviously gonna get yours from Curry. So I'm not gonna include Curry. It's between obviously for me, Clay and Dre for different reasons. Clay, if you get the same Clay you got last game, hey, go ahead and do that again, brother. Get your 28, and we're good. Draymond, though, I think I am going to have to agree to you because of what he brings to the game. Even though he doesn't bring it on the offensive end in terms of scoring.
I don't even expect it, though.
I want everyone to hear this. If he hits 1 3-pointer, you're getting a different Draymond. Because Draymond, after hitting a 3-pointer, is the most energetic guy in the world after hitting a single 3-pointer. His reaction to hitting 1 3-pointer.
Flexing on you.
If he comes out, let's say the Warriors have that third quarter. We know the Warriors are probably going to have a good third quarter tonight because that's what we've seen throughout the series. We saw also the Celtics give that up to Miami. So we can expect that. 3 minutes into the third, Dre hits a 3-pointer. Celtics call timeout. He is staring down the crowd, and hopefully he's letting him hear it. And hopefully it's in a situation where the Warriors have the lead. If he can just hit 1 3-pointer,
just one,
not miss the layups, and keep that intensity without getting text and without fouling out, Draymond can be the big difference maker.
That's the problem. When he gets riled up like that, that's when you gotta tell Draymond, all right, that's not too much now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell him. It's hard to tell him to stop though, because he is the fire, and also he's Draymond. That's Dennis Rodman. How are you going to tell Dennis Rodman to not be Dennis Rodman? How are you going to tell all those guys in those Pistons teams,
the bad boys?
How are you going to tell Bill Laimbeer to not be Bill Laimbeer?
You can't. He's one of those people.
Even Rasheed Wallace, both Pistons championship years. How are you going to tell that the big men they had to not be them? That's what made them great. They weren't these offensive powerhouses. They were enforcers. And that's what Draymond was talking in the press conference that, like, look, if Bill Laimbeer is throwing out around elbows being tough, y'all give him credit for it. That's what made him him. He's going to get a fine, but I made him him. That's what I'm doing. It's basically what he's saying.
It's because it's him.
It's because it's him. Yeah.
Because of Draymond. That's why.
It's because he's good. Well, not I shouldn't say it's because the team is good.
All right, there you go.
Yeah, okay. He's a Hall of Famer.
Oh yeah, well, hear me out. Do you think he is on any other team? Just say yes or no. Just say yes or no.
That's such a open-ended question though. Because what team are we talking? We're talking
any other team.
I mean, we're not talking trash teams like Memphis here.
All right. That's all, folks. That's all for the show.
We're not talking if we're talking about like if he's on the Timberwolves or if he's on, the Kings.
The Nets
no.
The Knicks. Draymond's not a Hall of Famer if he gets drafted by the Knicks.
No, but you can make that argument about a bunch of dudes if they weren't blessed to be in the positions they were in.
Who's been as blessed as Draymond?
Dennis Rodman. His counterpart.
In this era, I'm sorry.
I mean, but if you're gonna ask
there's only gonna be one every era as blessed as that to be able to be that type of focal piece on that type of team.
I don't know for this era just off the top of my head, but Dennis Rodman definitely, because Dennis Rodman never really played in his prime for a bad franchise. He started with the Pistons, then he went to the Bulls, then he went to the Spurs. Didn't win anything with the Spurs, but he was always part of a winning team. Won a championship with the Pistons, won championships with the Bulls, went to the Spurs. And his play style really helped those teams advance. If charted out, I kind of had it charted out from the beginning. I said Celtics, they're gonna split both of the two home games. Yeah, each team has their two home games. I said both are gonna get split. It's gonna be 2-2. I think Celtics are gonna go in the Bay and go 3-2. I think the Warriors are gonna win back-to-back games, 6 and 7. We win the game in the Bay, game 7.
Celtics and 6.
I respect it. By respect it, I mean screw you, because go Warriors. I think the Warriors is 7, Celtics is 6. If you say Celtics is 6, that obviously looks pretty good right now because of how they've played. They still have this game at home. They can go up 3-1.
Yeah, but I'm giving it.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
You wouldn't do it for me, but
I mean,
this is how generous.
I mean, if Memphis one day, I will give it to you guys one day. It just wasn't this year. I said before that series that I think the Warriors experience was going to come to get you guys. Obviously, I didn't expect Ja Morant to go down, even though that was something we talked about when I'm talking about Ja versus Ant Edwards.
Yeah, durability was your argument. So
and that came to bite them, even though they wiped the floor with the Warriors by like 50 without Ja.
That's the thing. It was the games we lost were due to inexperience, like you were saying. I don't remember which game it was, but the game where the play was drawn up for Ja, it was obvious. Clay knew it wasn't for anybody else, so he crashed straight to Ja. He left whoever that was wide open at the key. Just go straight to Ja. Ja tries to lay it up. Game over.
That was game 1 too.
That was game 1.
I'm pretty sure it was game 1.
It was. It sure was. They had the play drawn up, and then Josh stood underneath the basket, just looking around like, "Dang, what did I just do?" He knew that he messed up after he did. He just didn't have the experience to make the right play at the right moment. So you're right. I honestly don't believe that the inexperience is what completely caused it, though. It was the Warriors were the better team. I can say it now. The series is over.
Thank you.
I wasn't going to admit it.
Not
during. They were the better team. Like. Next year. Yeah.
And the last thing I'll say about this is I think the NBA kind of forgot about the Warriors. Warriors have weaknesses. They've played great in the playoffs so far. They took care of the Nuggets in 5, took care of you guys in 6, I believe it was, and took care of the Mavs in 5. So they haven't gotten to a single game 7. They've really walked through the playoffs at somewhat ease. Like you guys gave us some issues, but
was it the toughest challenge so far?
Yeah, it was.
All right, boom. That's all I want to hear.
It was. That's easily said because you went up 3-0 on both Dallas and Denver.
And then you go to Memphis. And
yeah. Without Ja, like y'all were still
the best game ahead.
It was. Dropped like 140 on the Warriors without Ja Morant. I'll give that to you. But I think with those hot stretches, we have forgotten about the Warriors' issues. And something that I've been saying since the beginning of the series is the Warriors are really, really missing James Wiseman. Something I said earlier here on the show. James Wiseman if nothing else, James Wiseman is 7 feet tall. And you have him in the paint, you have him on Robert Williams and Al Horford, you can have him somebody near the rim. That changes a lot for Jaylen Brown and Tatum, who pretty much are freely driving at the rim against this Warriors team. You have James Wiseman there. You're not. This could be a very different series with James Wiseman.
A lot of second chance points too.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you think about it, if James Wiseman is in the paint, he's banging with the big boys down there,
mm-hmm.
and he could potentially get a rebound. Marcus Smart and Jaylen Brown, they can't get these 8 or 7 rebounds again because they got to stay outside.
Mm-hmm.
If they get that offensive board, they throw it out 3. You can't leave those big guys, those big shooters out there. You know what I mean? So the fact that he's not there, they can inch up a little bit into the paint, grab a little bit more boards, and that's what they've been doing.
Yeah. So big game 4 tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Boston on ABC, 9 o'clock. I'm gonna be watching. I think I'm gonna watch it at home. I think I'm gonna watch it because I'm going to dinner with my mom after this, and then probably just gonna watch it at home.
Okay.
I'm nervous.
You should be.
I'm nervous.
No, yeah, you should.
I should be nervous because you're staring 3-1 in the barrel. Like,
I got you guys winning, but you should definitely.
Yeah, so big game 4 tonight for the Warriors. Hopefully they take. We both have them taking it, but it really could go either way.
If Draymond stinks it up, this will be the second time that he is the reason the Warriors lose the finals. 2016 was the first.
Let's just hope that doesn't happen.
2016 was the first time.
Let's just doesn't happen.
It might.